Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we've got to talk about basically replacement batteries for mobile phones because they're coming back, baby, and I am a big fan of this. Now, this is coming from Mashable, but here's what's going on. And of course, it's coming from the European Union because they are always leading the way on phone standardizations. Thank you very much, USB-C. Now, the EU is officially requiring all smartphones to have replaceable batteries by 2027. That's only 3.5 years away if you're doing the math here. Now, this week, the European Council adopted the regulation designed to reduce waste and also break up the monopolistic practices from tech companies like Apple, Samsung, and Google that have made it difficult to replace parts without having to buy a brand new phone, etc., etc. Now, this is obviously a huge win for the right to repair movement, and while it currently only applies to the European Union, this regulation clearly is going to have global ramifications, because it just makes sense that they're not going to make two different phones. They're going to make one standardized phone. So an iPhone, whatever it is, 17, 18, whatever it will be there for the world, because everybody is then going to get it thanks to the EU. Now, this regulation will likely impact the global market, like I said, changing these designs and all of that. And as I mentioned earlier, the EU did pass a regulation in 2022 requiring iPhones to have USB-C ports in line with the Androids out there, which are the vast majority of the phones combined. So obviously that has a similar global effect as well. Why make a lightning charger for one continent and USB-C for the other? Just make it for everything, and that's probably what's going to happen. Smartphones must be, quote, removable and replaceable by the end user, end quote, meaning that it's got to be easy to replace the battery without any kind of technical expertise. And if you ever had a cell phone back in the day where you could replace the batteries, yeah, you just pop the back off, pop the battery out, pop in a new one, and you're good to go. Manufacturers have until, as I mentioned, 2027 to adopt the design of their smartphones in order to comply with this law. The regulation applies to all batteries, including those in EVs and also e-bikes, in the hopes of creating a circular economy where waste batteries can be recycled and reused to power electronics. Now, the regulation includes requirements for smartphone manufacturers to collect 50% of the lithium from waste batteries by 2027, and that standard ramps up to 80% by 2031. In other words, we are mining an absolute ton of lithium right now. That's a rare earth element, et cetera, et cetera. And so by virtue of that, reclaiming it from, let's say, batteries that are no longer fully keeping a charge and reusing the lithium makes a whole lot of sense. It also makes a whole lot of sense for the environment. Manufacturers will also be required to label batteries with its internal components, amount of recycled material, and a QR code. So within, a few years or so, you'll finally be able to replace that battery without any issues. And I think this is actually a really good thing. I liked having replaceable batteries, aside from the fact we keep our phones slightly longer, because I think, honestly, the number one reason why people get phones isn't like, ooh, new shiny toy. It's because, well, I can buy a battery for, an eighth of the price of a brand new smartphone and just keep my current one longer, which reduces e-waste, but I also like it from a privacy standpoint. These phones that have sealed batteries, even when they turned off, the battery is still on, pinging back. I've done videos and podcasts on all that kind of stuff. So this is a good win all around for privacy, for recycling, for e-waste, for all of these kinds of things. And so this is good. I'm thrilled to have this happen. The only detriment to this is our smartphones, as screens have been getting wider and bigger, they've also been getting thinner. And part of the reason why they can be thinner is by design, that case essentially seals the battery in. If basically you can replace the battery, the case is going to be a little bigger. I think that's a good trade-off, though, in the long run, and we may even come up with slimmer battery designs that even negate that. So we're going to see what happens in the future, but that's the only detraction that I can think of this. But I think that's a very minor point compared to privacy and the environment. And here you go. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.